Hey, Knicks Nation, how you doing? This is Sincere from Sincere Knicks Fan 34. How are you doing? Oh man, I'm doing a whole lot better right now because our New York Knicks went and did their thing against the Clippers tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like it, love it, want more of it, right? Before we get into that, please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. I know there's more people viewing my content, and the idea is, hey, it don't cost nothing. Just go ahead and hit that button and hit that notification button so you can get all the latest content from me. All right. All right. Back to the show. So the New York Knicks, we went out there and did our thing, 123 to 111. You know what I'm saying? We shot 50% from the field versus the Clippers 43%. We shot 42% from the 3-point line compared to the Clippers 35%. We shot 88% from the free throw line versus the Clippers 84%. We had 16 offensive rebounds versus the Clippers 15%. I mean, I said 15%. The 32 defensive rebounds versus the Clippers 25 versus the 25. We had 31 assists. I'll say that again. We had 31 assists versus the 21 assists of the Clippers. We had 5 steals versus the Clippers 7. We had 6 blocks versus 5. We had 10 turnovers versus the 10 turnovers the Clippers had. We had 6 people in double figures versus the Clippers 4, right? The thing that I really want to focus on, the two things I want to focus on right now is the idea that the New York Knicks had 31 assists. We had 31 assists, and the other thing is we had 10 turnovers the entire game. 10, right? That is half of what we had in the last game, and that's a beautiful thing. What I loved was the idea that my man Karl-Anthony Towns went out there and did business, right? He went out there and he was aggressive the whole game. I cannot question whether he had energy or heart. He was out there on a mission, and I love it because he was out there to prove something, right? He wants to be with the New York Knicks. He wants to win with the New York Knicks. I truly believe he wants to win a championship with the New York Knicks, right? So the idea is him coming out right off the rip and he's going out there being aggressive. He took more shots in the paint than outside the paint, right? He wasn't out there trying to launch a whole lot of threes. He was aggressive, right? Didn't say he didn't take any threes, but he took way more shots that were in the paint than outside the paint. So he had 20 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, right? Loved it. And what I loved also was that he didn't get his first foul, I believe, until the end of the third quarter, maybe even the beginning of the fourth quarter. That to me was beautiful. Love it. And I hope we keep this trend going. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Carlton Towns? If you're watching this, keep that momentum going. All right? Just saying. Just saying. Brunson, he did Brunson things, 26.7 assists. Did a wonderful job doing Brunson things. What I did notice was that I don't know if this was intentional. I believe it was intentional. Was that Mr. Mike Brown? I believe he actually yanked Brunson out the game in the second quarter because he was kind of getting into that, him versus 5, right? Trying to go 1-on-5, and I believe that he was taking out the game, and they put in Deuce to kind of do his thing with Kolick, and they were able to maintain momentum. Actually, to be honest with you, they created momentum. They started clawing their way back in. There was a bit of a deficit, but the idea was when Deuce came in with Kolick, the defense started to step up, and they started getting better playing defense, and they started moving the ball, moving their bodies, and getting more of a team thing going on. And they were able to claw and scratch their way back into the game, and it became very much competitive coming into the half. And in the third, you saw Brunson really trying to get everybody involved, and then he's able to pick his spots and be able to maximize not only his abilities, but the people around him. And that was something that I was like, you know what? I see that, man, and I appreciate you. And he did it in a way, Coach Brown, that is, in my opinion, he did it in a way that wasn't disrespectful, and he did it in a way that sent the message, hey, look, you can go score 40, 60, 80 points, but if we're losing, what's the point? And Brunson was able, in my opinion, to recognize the message and was able to further move on, receive the message, and try to go and implement what the man was trying to execute. So kudos to Coach Brown. Kudos to Brunson. And I said kudos to Cat and to Miles McBride, Deuce, right? Yeah, got his jersey. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. So Mitchell Robinson, he had 9 rebounds. 5 of those were offensive rebounds, 2 blocks. Deuce had 16 points, but like I said, we needed all of those 16 points. Bridges had 15 points, 9 rebounds. I'm really keen on the 9 rebounds because we really did need to step our game up on the rebounds going from the last game into this game. So I was glad to see that someone had stepped up their game rebounding outside of Cat. So he had 9 rebounds, Bridges that is, 5 assists, 1 block, 1 assist. Kolick, I was actually kind of surprised. They said that he only had 2 points. I thought he had more than that. But he had 2 points, 5 assists. Now that I believe. And 4 rebounds. He went out there and I believe he had an impact on the game. He really was able to help set up teammates and get them involved early, and was able to get a flow going with the team. You know what I'm saying? Whether Brunson was on the floor or not, I think that was very helpful with what Kolick was doing. Clarkson was helpful as well, but I believe Kolick really was able to get a good rhythm going and was able to maintain that even when Brunson was on or off the floor. That was an amazing situation over there. I'm happy because, like, again, we came back from getting our behinds handed to us from the Detroit Pistons, and to turn around the very next day and go after one of the top teams in the league, in the LA Clippers, who were on a hot streak, and was able to come in there and take the win. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was a gut check. That was the kind of effort we should have probably had towards the Pistons last night, and we didn't bring that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what was, I don't know, like I said, I don't know what was in the food or the drink, I don't know. But the idea is they seem to showed up to play today, and I'm happy about that. Our New York Knicks, we're going out to the West Coast, and I really felt that we needed this win from the Clippers to help build momentum going out west, because you already beat a West Coast team in the LA Clippers. Now we go to the West. We already beat one of the top teams in the entire league, and now we go against all these other teams in the West, and hopefully it creates that momentum that I'm expecting in terms of wins. What I'm also excited about is the idea that we're going to be getting Josh Hart hopefully soon. Hopefully we'll be getting Shamet back soon. And that same kind of defensive intensity that these guys brought with McBride, OG Anunoby, and so on and so forth, you know, that continues to be something that we can build with and continue to embrace. You know, we've always had the culture of defense first, offense. You know, actually our defense creates our offense, right? That's what it's mostly been, and creating execution off of just opportunities and maximizing. So I'm happy for how we've been handling things going into this game. We stepped up, we manned up, you know, we found you know what it is, and we won, right? So with that, I'm happy. I'm excited to see what we're going to do moving forward, going out into the West, and we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to put out a whole bunch of numbers. For those who don't know, I've actually been holding off and telling like who's going to win, all that kind of stuff, because I've had people hit me up talking about, oh man, you know, I've been following you, you know, I've won X amount of dollars in parlays and this, that, and the other, with things that we talked about, you know, like in this, that, and the third. And it's like that's not what I signed up for. I'm a Knicks fan, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not a gambler, you know what I'm saying? But I enjoy the game. I enjoy watching the game, and I like to put my thoughts and feelings out there of why I think a team's going to win. I don't look at it to try to figure out what the numbers are going to be. The only thing I want to see is wins, the numbers in the wins column, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully see a championship, you know what I'm saying? But the idea is I'm hoping that we do very well in the West. We stand up strong and we handle business. All right. So with all that, I'm going to wrap this up here. Hey, once again, if you haven't, please like, share, subscribe, comment. All right. And till next time, let's get it.